start right now living an extraordinary life. Join your life coach and favorite auntie, Carla D. Tillery, and co-host LA on the Chair Chronicles. Having those important life talks and giving you advice to help you live your best life. LA, we've been having a great series.
Yes, we have. This has been wonderful.
Right. Starting out opening, talking about the power of words and things we shouldn't say in the workplace.
Right.
To our people that we care about and love, and to our children.
Yes.
And so we want to continue really focusing on communication today as well, because it comes up so often in conversations that I'm having just about, when there's conflict and not showing each other love and appreciation.
Right.
And how do you handle that? How do you make resolve? Yeah. And a lot of times it's because we don't understand ourselves, how we like to give and receive love.
True.
And then generally the expectation is that how I like it, that's how the other person likes it.
Exactly. And I think that this is a perfect time to talk about this, with the power of words, communication.
Yes.
And it really is about how we relate to one another with not just our words, but with how we treat one another. And, I really believe that we have seen this play out in some very ugly ways. So this is some tips and tricks and just a new way of thinking about how we relate to one another.
Yeah. So what is your love language?
Yes.
And how do you communicate your love language to people that you care about?
Right.
And how do others receive it?
Right. That's true.
Do they receive it well?
Right.
Because like I just said, sometimes we want the other person to have the same expression of love and reception of love as we do.
Right.
And so if you don't understand who you're in relationship with and how they like to receive it, you're going to give it like you like it. And that, it's conflict all over the place.
And I think that's the key right there. Knowing what your love language is and also understanding whoever you're in partnership with, what is their love language? So that way there's no miscommunication.
Right. And this transfers across just married couples.
Oh, yeah.
This transcends to parental relationships, to, your girls or the guys, how do you express how you care and appreciate people that are in your life? Yeah. So this is going to be good.
This is across the board. So, right. So we're not leaving anyone out. So let's dive in.
So let's just take one at a time and let's just talk it through, right?
Sure.
So the first one is words of affirmation.
Okay.
And so words of affirmation are verbal compliments that express your love and appreciation. Okay. So using words, right?
Yes.
To be able to communicate and express to someone how you appreciate them and express your love to them.
That's a good one. So again, about using our words.
How
we use our words to uplift.
Right.
Or to tear down.
Right.
So
because oftentimes we think we're conveying love, but that's not what they're hearing.
Right.
So how do people express it? So for those who are receptors, not givers, but receptors of words of affirmation, like for you to brag on them.
Okay, we all like a little bit of a pat on the back and a little hype from your,
Everybody like a little, acknowledgement every now and then, for you to say, oh, this person is great. LA is phenomenal. I care about her so much. She's so intelligent. She's very smart. She's witty. She's humorous. She's a lot of fun. And so when, if I was to introduce you, I'm sure you would be like, oh, right?
Yes, actually.
And so people who like to express themselves that way, we have to know whether the person we're saying that about likes to receive that. Everybody doesn't like that kind of attention.
Yeah. That's
right.
That's
so
true.
If my love language is words of affirmation, it doesn't automatically mean that my husband or someone that I'm in a relationship with is.
Right.
Because bragging about them could put them on the spot.
Right.
And they don't want that kind of attention and can withdraw.
Right. And then they also wonder, are you being genuine?
Ooh, good one. Is this authentic?
Are you just hyping me up to,
Yeah. Why you got to do all of that in public? Exactly. Like, because behind closed doors, you ain't saying nothing.
Right.
I don't get a I love you. I don't get
go ahead, girl. I don't get any of that.
You don't get any of that.
Right.
And so it can appear to be less authentic if you're always bragging about someone in the public eye, but you're not doing it behind closed doors.
Right. So again, if you are that person that needs words of affirmation, you don't make the assumption that that you like that.
Right. Because I might be like, I'm not like that though. Let me just put that on the record. Right. So that's good. So after conflict, speak words that build security and initiate a sincere apology.
Right.
So again, it's using words to sort of resolve the conflict by acknowledgement, by building security with that individual, and initiating that apology will go a long way.
So if you know that there's someone that, for them, it's not about you bringing them a gift when you've slighted them or they feel, down about something, or what they want from you is acknowledging their feelings and just, being there for them. So, it's going to be okay.
Right.
Or, it's okay. Take it on the chin and we're going to keep going. That's what they need. They don't need you to bring them, their favorite flower and something like that. That's not what
because they're looking for the words to affirm that relationship, not a gift.
Right.
Not a gift. And I see it so many times that is the conflict when you don't understand, again, how they like to receive it. We're talking about the receptor. Right. I mean, we're doing both right now. Right. But I think if you're in the seat of how do I best not have a conflict with someone who likes words of affirmation, it is use your words, not your pocketbook.
That's it. Buying
expensive gifts is not an expression of love to them because their love language is words of affirmation.
Right. So again.
So we already done kind of did a sneak peek on the other one.
Sure did.
So let's just jump to that one. Giving gifts. That's another love language. Right. So it is described as tangible symbols that reflect your thoughtfulness and effort.
Nice.
Tangible. Right. So it's something that they can actually touch, they can grab. Right. It could be symbolic. It could be an expression through a gift of some sort. And people express this usually like they like it at birthdays and anniversaries and special occasions. Yes. They want the gifts. They want the big fanfare. You got to go all out.
All out.
You got to go all out.
Yes.
All out.
Yeah. And I mean, when you think about that, people think, okay, that could be kind of superficial. But if you are that person that, you surprise someone with a card or flowers, their favorite flower.
Right.
Or even a rock, even if something as small as a rock, what it symbolizes to them is that you took the time to think about them.
That's right. Yes. So, you took the time to think about them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so they, as a receiver of that, the gift really represents that expression that they love me. They care about me. They appreciate our relationship and things they may have done.
Right.
So it's the exact, we use that as an illustration for those who like words of affirmation. Right. Like giving them a gift does not necessarily indicate that, they feel loved by you.
Right.
But for a person whose love language is gifts,
yes.
The more expensive, the better.
Exactly.
Now, I do think that that's part of the problem, I think, for those who have that love language. You can put too much pressure on the person you're in relationship with if you only identify that they love you by an expensive gift.
That's a good one.
Yes. A good one. Yeah. I have seen it. I have tried to counsel people help them navigate through that journey, that it was the thought, but it was not the gift that they wanted.
Right.
And how, and that is a struggle and a challenge, because from the person who's given it, they might not have had the resources. Right.
And they're thinking, I'm being thoughtful. I'm thinking about what you would like.
Right.
What makes you smile.
Right.
Not about the price tag.
Right. Now, when some couples get engaged, there's some surprises.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Look at my ring. And then there are others that are like, This is
That's you see
this is where the diamond at.
right. And that does not mean that the person doesn't love you and it's not in love with you by the size of the ring.
So I think the key point here in gift giving, even through the definition of what we've been talking about, is, and I'm going to quote the source in a minute, but it is it is the thought. Right. It's symbolic. It doesn't have to have a price value on it for it to be symbolic.
Right.
Symbolic is the whole kind of word of effect here.
Right.
It is symbolic.
And let's just use children as an example.
Okay.
Your child, let's just be clear, we've all have done this. We've gone to art class and we've made that little bowl or dish or whatever it's supposed to be
out of clay.
And parents are like, this is beautiful.
Right.
And it could be the ugliest piece of art, but the love
was right. It. The thought. Child comes home so excited that they did this as part of arts and crafts. Right. And a lot of times teachers will help do that for a lot of different skill sets that are being developed and showing thanks and appreciation for like Mother's Day and Father's Day. Right. And so you come home and then you're greeted when they come home from school with these beautiful art pieces.
Exactly.
Right? Right. Exactly. And it's the thought.
It's the thought.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think as early as we can instill about the symbolic kind of expression of giving a gift, I think will go such a long way in our society where we're so driven on brand name, price tag, and it has to be expensive to count for something. Right. And I'm so Xing. If there's a part of culture to cancel that. I cancel that. I cancel that.
You have people going into debt, and for what?
Absolutely.
You don't have to prove
trying to please and make it known that, I'm special because I bought this and I paid this much money for it. And then those who brag about how much they spent on the gift or leave the price tag on it accidentally.
Okay. Again, are you being genuine?
Right. Because for those who like to receive gifts and that's their language, right? They like to kind of show off that they have this gift and how much it costs or what the brand name is. Right. And my girlfriends will tell you, when I go shopping with them, I am like canceling these expensive gifts. I am so... and I'll say this in all honesty. Right. I have things I like to purchase. Right. Everybody does. And some things might be a higher value than what you have to spend, right? But then I also know some who really thrive off of that. And I'm not the one to go, you don't want me going with. I'm like, you don't need that. Yeah. What you paying that much money for?
I'm on the clearance rack now. I'm going to tell you so. If you that person,
right. So, and it's all good. Listen, like I said, everybody has where they put their money and their value at. Right. But when it comes to the love language, I think we need to be careful to recognize the symbolism. Right. More so than the value.
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that. So let's do another one. This is some good stuff. Yeah. Acts of service. So acts of service are defined as any act that eases the burden of responsibility.
That's me.
That's you? That's your love language?
My love language is acts of service.
Wow. So people express this kind of love language, like, for an example, like washing the dishes or, pampering someone or offering, let me do that for you, right? They have more of like the helps. Yeah. And so when they see a need, big or small, they're always offering their service to jump in and help.
Yeah. And that's me.
Yeah.
I'm a nurturer by nature. So for me, it really is about taking care of and making sure you're okay. What can I do to help?
What can I do to help?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good. Yeah. And so after a conflict, you want to make behavior changes requested through the conflict. So typically someone will express, I would like for you to do this. This would be more, acceptable to me, or this is what I desire more than what you've done. So that's how you kind of resolve that conflict using that love language.
That's good.
Right.
That's really good.
Right.
I like that definition of it. I
right.
really do.
Okay. Quality time. Now, this is one of mine.
Okay.
Now, I honestly kind of stretch the whole gamut here. I like every single love language. I probably really don't have a preference. I think I'm one of those who likes to see it come in all of these different forms.
Right.
So I don't know what that name is. I haven't looked that up to try to find out what that is.
Right.
But and maybe it depends on the individual again. But quality time, focused and undivided attention spent together.
Nice.
Because I'm one of those like, you're not listening to me. Look at me. You know, like when I'm talking, I don't want you looking at TV or looking at your phone. I want you to like be so focused that you want to look at the words coming out of my mouth.
I love that. But that's a good one.
Yeah, quality time.
Yeah.
That is big for me. And I think that's why I also kind of extend my birthday celebration the whole month. Because I really like to spend time with the people I care about.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that with you.
I don't care about gifts and all of that.
Right.
Of course, it's nice to get a gift. But I do place more preference on time spent.
Nice.
Yeah. So for those, again, and I just said this, how to express it. Turn off your electronics. Going for a walk, planning date night, starting a hobby together, anything that you're doing together. And again, this ranges over items or activities that don't cost you anything.
Right.
A walk in the park is free.
Right.
So for people who that's their love language, it's so easy to express it.
Very easy.
A phone call just to say, hi, how are you today?
Yeah.
You weren't on my mind. I was thinking about you. That goes a long way. So if you never got them a gift, if you never bragged on them to someone else, just giving them a call and giving them some undivided attention, boom, bam, you done sealed the deal.
It's big. And, perfect example of that. During the pandemic, my mom decided to get some thinking of you cards.
Oh, nice.
And she just sent out tons and tons of them. The number of calls that she received and people just saying, that really changed where I was, my mood. It just uplifted me. You don't know how much that meant to me just to receive a card that says, I'm thinking of you.
Right.
And she really wasn't looking for anyone to call her and thank her for it. It was just that people were on her mind and it was her way. She's a service person. Yeah. She's service. She's all about service. And I think about it even now, and it started me doing the same thing, just sending out a card here and there and just saying, I'm thinking of you.
Yes.
It's big.
It is big. It is big.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you anything. So I know people in this generation, and in today's society, we don't really do cards like that. No. But a text, a call, right? Yeah. A quick email. Yeah. A quick message, even at work for a colleague to say, how are you doing? How was your weekend? Just something to connect. Yeah. Because we have to be careful, particularly because of COVID, that we don't lose the art of connecting with people.
That's it.
And so many have been withdrawn and isolated and now are struggling, to reconnect again.
And I think this is why we're seeing a lot of the conflicts that we're seeing, that people are out in society now, and it's almost like they don't know how to be.
That's right.
They don't know how to be. Common courtesies have gone out the window. We see it with driving. How aggressive people are and all that. And I don't like to use it all, blaming it all on the pandemic, but it has changed people.
It has changed
and
people.
So we've lost that art of just being nice and kind.
Nice and kind. Absolutely. Oh my God. So this is some good stuff. This is all right. So we've done words of affirmation. We've done giving gifts. Yes. We've done acts of service. We've done quality time. And the last love language is physical touch.
That's a good one.
Now, when I say physical touch, we're describing a non-sexual touch that reinforces your presence.
Yes.
Yeah. And I am a touchy-feely person.
Yes,
so when COVID happened, I was struggling because I'm a touchy person.
Right.
And now when I see my friends, it's like, that engagement of a hug, was kind of like not really favorable just because you wanted to be safe and you wanted to keep your family and friends safe. But my family by nature, we're huggers.
Yeah, we are too. Yeah.
Yeah, my friends by nature,
yes,
we're very huggy and touchy.
Right.
Like I said, non-sexual. So even my girlfriends, if we're watching a movie, we're sitting, like elbow to elbow and touching. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So physical touch, I think, is important for just identifying that closeness, that I'm here, the connection, being present in the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is. It can be hard. I know a couple of people that their reasoning, I mean, they said that their reasoning for not coming back to church is they're huggers. And for them to have to stop themselves from doing it, they said they feel awkward because you don't know. And I've seen that happen. I've actually witnessed it happen where, people have kind of leaned into me and I've leaned into them and I'm like, so you have to kind of remind yourself because I'm a touchy, I'm a huggy, kind of person. So, I think that, as we kind of get beyond prayerfully quickly sooner rather than later COVID, and people are being vaccinated and things like that, there's still ways that we can have physical touch without having to physically hug.
The fist bump came in,
the elbow bump,
all of
parts, so there are ways.
Even and I send virtual hugs. Hugs and texts and emails sometimes just to let people know that I want to embrace, right? Mm-hmm. So I've text friends and I'm like sending virtual hugs and kisses, just to identify that I'm thinking about them and that I want to stay connected in a virtual physical touch.
Yes, and it does, and it goes a long way because people do feel it. They feel it. Yeah.
Right. So how to express it is long hugs, gentle caressing, kissing, massages, hand holding. Those are examples. Mm-hmm. And after a conflict, hold each other without saying a word, cuddle together in the bed. So that is a strategy that I use with a lot of couples when I'm doing marriage counseling to allow, if a couple feels emotionally and physically connected, the way that I start to help them build that connection back is to do an exercise where they literally are facing each other, knees to knees. They have to hold each other's hands and they have to look in each other's eyes for at least 30 seconds. And that seems, 30 seconds doesn't seem long, but that's a long time without any words, where you physically need to lock in and connect.
Wow.
And then there are times where I also may say, hold hands. Like take a walk, you have to hold hands. Or if you're, or if you're in a place where you're watching TV, you can sit down and hold hands and cuddle. And sometimes you have, and it sounds like so programmatic, right? To be instructed to do this. But sometimes it's necessary to create a new habit to be taught. Now, listen, we teach our children and people in our household how to brush their teeth. We tell them that every morning. Go brush your teeth. Go brush your teeth until it becomes habitual and you don't have to remind them. And so sometimes you have to teach a behavior and ask them to repeat a behavior in order for it to become habitual. Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Good stuff.
Really good stuff.
Good stuff on connecting through words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, giving gifts, and physical touch.
So research. Learn what your language is.
Right. Do some exploration and find out what your love language is. And then in addition to that, find out what the love language is for others in your life. Because I guarantee you're going to find someone in close proximity in your heart space that has a different love language and has a different expectation of how you can show and express love to them.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be a great exploration because I think what you're thinking that person's love language is,
it might not be
to totally blow your mind. And you're going to be like, well, I was doing this all the time and they never said anything.
Right.
You know. So
this, I do want to quote the source. This is based on the 5 Love Languages written by Dr. Gary Chapman. And so there are books out there that you can purchase. You can go online and on the internet and do some research. And listen, do this as an activity with your family.
This is a great
do
activity.
it with your friends. Do it with your loved ones to find out their love language. And I guarantee you it's going to improve and enhance your relationship with them.
Yes. This is good.
This is good.
Good.
So I got my acts of service over here.
That's right.
So I got to find something to do for her. For my lovely co-host. And listen, she's got the challenge. Yeah, that's right. She's got to take me out, spend some time.
We're going to be hanging,
We got to go walking. We got to we can just go to the coffee shop and sit and talk.
Yes.
Because that's what I love. Quality time.
Okay.
Quality time.
We can do that.
All right. So listen, discover your love language and enhance your relationships. We want you to live your best life. Comment, share this post with others, this episode. We would love to hear from you as always. And stay tuned and stay connected on The Chair Chronicles.